Hello guys, Absolute Duelist here, coming at you with another One Piece match for you today. It looks like I lost the dice roll in this game, and it's Doffy versus Kinemon, but the Kinemon player hasn't put their dice out yet, or their leader out yet. So, we're currently mulliganing, looking to see if we want to keep our hand. It looks like the Kinemon player is probably going to keep. No, he chooses to mulligan, but it is a Doffy versus Kinemon game, and this game is actually kind of interesting if I remember correctly, because the Kinemon matchup versus the Doffy matchup is very interesting. Like, when it comes down to this, like, you're constantly getting out resources, but the Kinemon player likes to put big bodies on the board that can constantly hit you. So it's going to be an interesting game to see what we kind of do here. So Doffy went first. I got a Don, didn't get a 1-drop Perona, so I didn't get to play anything. Kinemon then goes and he gets 2 Don. What he's probably going to do is play probably a Raizo or a Okiku. Okiku would be preferred because he can just start resting stuff, which is just really strong, obviously, in this deck. And it looks like, oh, he's going to play a Bonnie and just instantly rest it to look at the top 5. So he gets an Apu. That's a good card there. He hasn't rested the Bonnie, though. Yeah, there we go. We just corrected that, making sure that the game state is correct, because I can currently swing into that Bonnie now. Swings into the Bonnie, rests free, and plays a free drop Doflamingo looking at the top 5. Stacking our deck for the next couple of turns, just to make sure that we obviously can play off the top of our deck with Doflamingo, so we can continuously gain advantage. So it looks like we go straight into his turn, and he's just choosing to swing out right for 5 into leader. Interesting. I didn't counter it, so I must have taken the life. And he plays a Yamato and passes, so it's my turn now. Looks like we're going to put some Don onto Doflamingo. Puts 2 Don onto it, swings into leader, pays the 1, and looks at the top card to play. And it looks like I didn't draw for turn, so we made sure we drew, and then we get to play the Gecko Moria. So this game seems to be a little bit of misplays here and there, just making sure that the game is played correctly. So yeah, slight misplays, but we also pay 2 Don to play an Alvida. Now, Alvida's a really good card to play against like this deck, because it means that we can go ahead and discard cards to return like Okiku's to hand. It means we can return cards like blockers such as what's it called, killers or Otamas, sorry, Tokis. So that's really strong. Sorry for the but like, yeah, so he plays a Toki, so that means we're going to be able to easily out this Toki thanks to the Alvida. But it looks like he tried to swing into me, but we countered it because we don't want to take 2 life off that Yamato, because Yamato is a very strong card when it comes to Kinemon, because just being able to hit for 2 life and banish 2 cards is absolutely insane. So we're going to swing 7 into the Yamato, trying to get rid of that. We don't want him to keep it because it's just a really strong card, and he chooses to block with the Toki. So we go ahead and swing 7 into it, play a Boa off the top of our deck. That's really nice. And it looks like he's debating if he wants to counter it. We still have free Don though, so if he does choose to counter it, we can play around it. But maybe I could have played this better by putting the Don on the Alvida, swinging, discarding a card, putting the Toki back in his hand. It kind of just guarantees that he wastes a card in his hand and also deals with it. But he does choose to let the Yamato die, and then we play a Doffy and look at the top 5 to try and get one of these to our hand. So let's see, we choose those in order, and yeah. Let's see what he's going to do now. So he's on, I think, 8 Don. So 8 Don. Like, he could drop here his Odin, which would be really nice right now for him. But will he do that? That's the question, because, like, Odin here is pretty strong. Like, Odin on curve is great. Odin late game is less so, because you have less advantage. But he chooses to just swing into the Boa. And he tries to just swing double Boa with the Yamato and the Kinemon to get rid of the Boa Hancock, because it can give us more draws, which is really nice. And he plays the 8-drop Odin, as I said before. So, yeah. So it's our turn now. We're on 9 Don. He's got the Yamato and an Odin. We've currently got a lot of bodies on board. It looks like we swing straight into face, trying to deal with that. And we're swinging again into face with Moria. Does he choose to counter? He doesn't. He just takes it. And then we play Mihawk, going ahead, returning something to the deck. And the Yamato to the bottom, which is really good. And then we just pass from the look of it. So he's drawn for turn. It looks like he drew a Bonnie because that's the top card in his hand. Pretty strong card here, but it looks like he's just going to swing with the Odin, getting rid of our Gecko Moria. And looking at it, he's got 10 Don to do with as he pleases. He could easily just untap that Odin, swing again. Like, there's no reason not to. But he has a lot of cards in hand. Like, he's got all the choices in the world. That's one of the good things about Kinemon. Like, it keeps hand advantage very easily because it doesn't really play a lot of cards from its hand. So you would rather have a lot of cards in your hand be like counters, 2k counters to kind of just deal with your opponent, and then just play bigger things to try and run them over with double attacks and stuff like that. That's how at least I've been playing Kinemon when I choose to take it to locals, and it works really well. So he chooses to swing straight into Doffy for 5. We choose to take it. And then he's going to rest 8. Okay, is he going to play another Odin then? No, he plays a Kid, an 8-drop Eustace Kid, which is actually really good. And he plays a Killer with its ability and puts a Don under it and puts a Don under the Killer. That's really strong. But the good thing is we do have the Alvida, so we can just go ahead and put the Killer back in hand and then just proceed to swing with our Dracula Mihawk into the Kid. So that's going to be interesting to see. Like, it will also help us dump a lot of cards in his hand, because if he chooses not to keep it, it does deal with it. Oh, we swing, looks like 8 straight into the Kid, and then we go ahead and use the Alvida to return the Killer to hand. I'm not sure if that was the right play here. So he just chooses to 1k counter it, gets around it, and then we put 5 Don onto the Dracula Mihawk, swinging into the Kid, and he just straight counters it for 6k. No, sorry, for 7k. So that's yeah, that's enough, because it puts Dracula Mihawk up to 14. He needs 7 because it's on 8k. That's really strong, and he's just going to be able to play the blocker again, which is just going to put us in the exact same situation. But this turn, he can actually start assaulting like Mihawk and Alvida and stuff. Yeah, he just gets rid of the Alvida, which is really good there, because it means that we can't bounce the Killer on the following turn. It's going to make our life a little harder here. So let's see what happens from this point onwards then. So he's got 10 Don. He's got 10 Don to use with as he pleases. He can go ahead and swing with the Odin into the Dracula Mihawk. He can swing with the Kid for 9k, no issues. And I think his play is probably just to get rid of the Dracula Mihawk. So yeah, he does go ahead and swing into the Dracula Mihawk for, I think that's 11. So make a 2k and a 1k to counter it, or just use one of our blockers. And he can always untap that. So we do block it. But he chooses to go ahead and rest 3 Don to restand and go again. Now, will we counter out of this? We do choose to counter out of it, so that's pretty good. It means that we counter the 3. He has to waste more Don, theoretically, on the Kid to just get rid of this Dracula Mihawk. And the thing is, he's only got 4 Don left, so he has to dedicate at least 2 of that onto a Killer if he wants to play the Killer. Because if he wants to swing again, of course. And it means that he's going to have to invest his Don very wisely here. Like, if he has multiple blockers, he could theoretically go ahead and, well, so he chooses to rest the Kid, but is he using it to swing, or is he using it to play a blocker? I would assume he's using it to play the blocker, right? Yeah, he does choose to play the blocker. Oh, but we thought he was attacking, and we choose to counter it. And he plays the blocker, puts 1 Don under, and has 2 Don up. That's really good on his part. He's got a very good setup here. He's got the blocker Killer, he's got the 8-drop Kid, he's got the Odin. This is a very interesting setup and something we've got to think about. And I believe we've only got like 2 cards in hand right now. So it's a bit of a tough situation for us to play through. So let's see how we're going to kind of deal with this. Like, obviously we have to deal with the Killer. Like, that has to happen. We've got to deal with that blocker. He's obviously also baiting the fact that he's got Gibson in hand, because he's left 2 Don up. Like, that's Gibson if I've ever seen one, right? Like, you need to be careful with Gibson, because if he Gibsons, he can go ahead and rest the boa, just get rid of the boa for free, which it's not good for us. So let's see what we're doing. It looks like we're debating just putting 3 Don on Doffy, and we do choose to put the 3 Don on Doffy, and we play the Gecko Moria of top, which I think was pretty lucky. I don't know if we knew that was a Gecko Moria, and we get a Teach to hand from the graveyard. Probably to use to get rid of that Killer again. So let's see, what's he gonna do? Like, theoretically, he could just use the 2 Don now if he's got Gibson in hand, rest the Boa Hancock, and that deals with a lot of the issues that he has to think about right now. Like, it's very interesting to see where this can go right now, especially seeing as he has the upper hand a lot right now. Just having the Kid, like the Kid on the board with a Killer is absolutely insane. Like, this is the setup from OP01 that was really just disgusting with, like, the Kid deck in general. And having it in Kinemon here with a double attacking Odin seems even better. So he chooses to 2k counter this. Okay, that's an interesting choice. Because him 2k countering this means that he might not just have the Gibson, and it was just a bluff all along. So what's the play from us then? Like, we could just put free Don straight under the boa, swing with the boa, draw a card. That's really strong, right? But no, it looks like we're paying free Don for Don to play the Martial Teach, to return the killer to the hand, puts 2 Don on the Dracula Mihawk, and swings for that. And he does have the Gibson, so he was saving the Gibson. So maybe it would have been better if we just put the Don under the bow. We would get in the draw. We wouldn't have had to have our cards rested by the Gibson. It's a tough spot right now for us. Like, he's got the kid. As long as, if he's got another blocker, I just don't see us outing this kid. Like, it just doesn't seem possible for us. So let's see how this is gonna go. Like, again, he's probably got out this Dracula Mihawk, right? So he puts 1 under the kid, chooses to swing the kid into the Dracula Mihawk. We block for 1k, puts it up to 10, swings 12 into the Mihawk. We let the Mihawk die at this point. There's no way we can keep it alive. Swings 5 into the bow. We 1k counter. Chooses to restand, swing into the Hancock again. And then he's got 3 Don left to do with as he pleases. And he plays a killer and a Toki. That's really good, but it looks like his hand size is very low now. So we're going to have to try and figure out how to get around this kid, Toki, and this blockers. Like, he's got so many blockers that we can't attack. Like, it's a very tough situation. So it looks like I'm just thinking about my Don assignment now, trying to think of the best way to get around this. Probably just get rid of all the blockers, keep swinging into this kid, like, because we've got exactly 10 Don, that's enough for 3 swings, which does seem to be the smartest play here. So we put 3 onto the Moria, swing into the kid. He chooses to block with the Toki. We put 4 onto the Teach. He blocks again. And then 3 onto the Doffy, and then swing into the... And he lets it die. It died. Good, good, good. Like, that means we can actually start playing the game. But again, he does have that Odin. And we are on only 2 characters with a Doffy. But I think we've got 4 life left. Or is that 3? It might be 3 life left. So we do have to kind of be careful here. So he puts 1 Don on that. Goes ahead and kills the Teach. He's probably also going to kill the Moria. Like, the Moria just seems like the right thing to kill now, because he's got 9 Don left anyway. And he can reduce the character of a Kiku. He can reduce pretty much anything he wants right now. So he's going to put 1 onto the Odin. Odin's going to swing face. Okay, interesting choice. Restands. And... does he swing into the Moria? I'll swing into the Moria here. Like, he's in a very good position. Like, Moria swing seems to be the smart. Yeah, he does choose to swing into the Moria. That's very good for him. Then he plays a Okiku and passes with 2 Don up, probably baiting a Gibson again. Okay, so we have 3 cards in hand from the looks of it. We choose to play a Perona, looking at the top 5 to start stacking our deck a bit. Okay, that's good for us. Hopefully we can get something that will allow us to just deal with the situation we're in. Okay, just making sure of the order. We don't want to mess this up, because Doffy is it's a very big think deck where you have to make sure you put things in the exact right order, otherwise you're not going to have things when you need it. And against Kinemon right now, we've got to kind of deal with the board as is. So let's see how many Don we're going to put onto our Doflamingo. And will we kill this Odin? Like, the double swing is very strong, so do we want to deal with that, or do we just want to start swinging face? Because, like, swinging face is not a bad idea here, just because it allows us to just deal with the board at hand. Like, it lets us get around things. Like, it really is just a big debate right now. Do we kill the Odin? He gets a Toki. He only has 3 attacks instead of 3. Like, it's just... oh, yeah, so we do go for the Odin. We play a Gecko Moria. That's good. What do we get back, though? Probably a Doffy, right? Doffy would seem to be the best card to add back. No, we get a Dracula Mihawk. Okay. We need those counters in hand, apparently. So he does choose to play a Toki. Sorry, no, Kiku, not a Toki. My mistake on the names, guys. I apologize. And he untaps. Okay, so we're on 3 life. He has 3 attacks. Well, sorry, we have 2 life, and he can hit us 3 times. So he's going to swing for 7, from the looks of it. This is a bit of a tough one, just looking at the board state. Like, he knows I've got a 2k counter in hand, and we've got 2 other cards. We need to be able to counter every one of these. So let's see how this is going to go. So it looks like he's debating putting more Don onto his Okiku. He swings into the Moria, rests the Perona. Oh no, he swings into life, and we just choose to take it. We just choose to take it. Like, I feel like he's got enough Don to like assign 2 9s, but do we have enough to counter 2 9s? That's the real question, right? So where is he gonna assign this Don? That's the real question. Puts onto the Okiku and swings into the Moria. Okay. We choose to go ahead and 8k counter, I think. He's gonna go ahead and swing again into the Moria. Do we choose to protect this? Are we able to protect this? That's the real question. Like, the Moria is strong, but is it worth protecting when he's got 2 Okikus and his leader with 4 Don up? And we do choose to protect it. Okay. That's interesting. Like, I don't know why I did that. Like, it looks like we had a Doffy as well, so we could stack our deck. Maybe it's just to be able to guarantee swings. Like, he does only have 2 cards in hand. Okay, so we draw for turn. We've got the Perona, the Moria. Like, I think the play would probably be right to put 3 onto... Oh no, we slap 4 onto the Gecko Moria. Straight. Puts 2 onto the... What's that? 5 onto the Doffy? Plays a Kuma. And passes turn. Okay. Interesting choice on my part. It looks like this game has completely swung. It's shifted completely. And now that we've got the Bartholomew Kuma on board, it means that we've got to have a blocker each turn. And if it dies and we have a Pacifista in hand, we just get a free 6k swing. That's really strong. So, did he just swing into the Kuma? Oh, it looks like we didn't have a Pacifista though. So he plays the... Okay, so he plays a Yamato, the 6k Resta one, and passes. So we're gonna... Are we paying 9 Don here? So we go swing 5 face. Probably not smart to swing with that first. We swing with Moria. Goes ahead and does that. And we play a Dracula Mihawk. Return that Yamato to the bottom of the deck. And yeah, like, we've got 1 life left. He's got 1 life. We've got the Moria on board. We've got a Dracula Mihawk for 9k swing. We are in a very good position now. Like, this game completely swapped around as soon as that kid just died. The killing the kid was just very strong from the looks of it. So he's paying... Oh, it looks like he's going to be paying a ton of Don. No, he just puts it all onto... he puts it all onto his Kinemon, and we take our last life. So he's on 1 life. We just need to hit with, like, one of these cards. So we swing 7 into the leader, trying to hit him for that life. Okay. He's got 2 Don up. Does he have a Gibson? Like, if he has a Gibson, we just swing again for, like, 5 with the Perona, right? But, like, it depends on his hand. Like, his hand has to have a Gibson. It has to have a Gibson to rest the Perona. Has to have the ability... we've got 3 attacks at least. We've got 3 more attacks at least. So where is this going to go? Okay. So he's really thinking right now. Does he want to take this more? And he chooses to counter it for 8. Okay, so we put 3 onto the Perona, swing into leader again. He's going to choose to take that. And then that's game. Yeah, that was a really good game. Like, the 8-drop kid is still really strong, as we all saw here. It was a very back and forth. Like, early game, it looked like the Kinemon player had it, but then the Doffy player just came back out of nowhere and just won the game. Like, it really shows how powerful keeping that 8-drop kid alive really is, and it just showed how good that game actually was. But guys, that is the match. I hope you did enjoy it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and tell me what your thoughts are on Doffy and Kinemon. Do you think the matchup is hard? Do you think it's interesting? Like, I thought this was a very interesting game to watch, especially seeing as this was a game I played like a couple of weeks back, and only now recording the footage, because I actually haven't been able to do a lot of these, and making sure I can get voiceovers for you guys is something I want to do. So hopefully you did enjoy. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, show your support for the One Piece content, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Absolute Duelist signing out. Later all.